One of the references that I had was, Caligula, the film Caligula. It was a massive orgy of wealth and drugs and a group of people that really wanted to, succeed at any cost. But there have been films in the past like Boiler Room or Wall Street, but this had this sort of a sense of humor that I don't think had ever been put up on film before. And our approach was to be very improvisational. I think all of us wanted to connect with our characters, do as much research as we possibly could. I got the opportunity to meet with Jordan Belfort himself, hear the first account of a lot of these stories and what went on. And then there was a massive, rehearsal period. There was a lot of improvisation there, and we just kind of integrated all that rehearsal into the filmmaking process. We had reference points of where we wanted scenes to go, but it was incredibly loose. It was like a theater company of guys coming in and playing around with the material. And there would be a lot of sequences that were only a page long, and we'd be improvising for hours and hours. And when you have the great actors that I got to act alongside, anything can happen on that day, and a lot of times it did. What's going to be surprising is the humor, the dark humor of this movie, but no Scorsese movie is ever going to not have that dark side too, and the exploration into the depths of who these people are and the unraveling of those characters. Our attitude, like I said, was simply let's really pull no punches. Let's not try to whitewash anything. Let's not try to make these characters quote unquote likable. Let's portray them for what they are. And that means also exploring the unbelievable time that they did have during those few years where they were completely unregulated and had no rules. Ultimately, they pay the price, and everything comes crashing down in a flaming, pile of rubble. But let's be honest about what they were doing, and they were having an insanely good time. Jonah in particular is, not only just a great guy and was so incredibly excited to be there and so chomping at the bit to play this character. I mean, one of the earliest conversations I had with him was before he even got cast, and he looked at me and he said, this was the role that I was meant to play. This character, speaks to me. I know these people, I've seen this world, and I am the man to play that character. And when an actor has that kind of passion, you immediately want to let the director know that there's somebody out there that wants to throw everything into it. And Scorsese met him and immediately hired him after that. And his attitude throughout was, look, I want to be your wingman in this endeavor. I want to go out there and support you and support Marty and show the essence and true life of these characters and this man in particular. It was an amazing experience for all of us because, I've traditionally worked on a lot of movies that, have a very specific plot structure, and, there's so many different moving parts that ultimately need to happen to culminate in an ending. And this was a much different experience. And so somebody like Jonah for all of us was just an electrifying force that ignited each scene every single day, and I'm very thankful that he did that for us on this film. There will be moments in this movie where people will be shocked and appalled by some of the activity, but you get wrapped up in this world, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring people, into a time period that was wild and rampant, without regulations and without rules, and envelop you in that world to the point where you almost become desensitized to the debauchery. And I think we accomplished that. I don't think that movies are necessarily there to tell, you know, a moral tale. They're there to depict people, and you know, as close to not even as close to reality as they possibly are, but as authentically as you can. And to me, those are the films that I want to watch, the films that I think about, the films that resonate through the years, and those are, you know, those are the movies that live on for hundreds of years, in my opinion. You have to, you know, not go into the process thinking that I'm going to teach these people a lesson. I think people are see that as transparent ultimately. When we go into a certain endeavor or filmmaking process, you're not very flexible for what is yet to come. And this is one of the examples of, you know, a group of artists getting together and saying, let's see what happens when we're on set. Let's come incredibly prepared, but let's see what magic happens while we're there. And but to me, there's so many memorable sequences in this movie that may even take, you know, a while to resonate with people. You know, like I said, I think audiences are very desensitized to, you know, a lot of things that they see up on screen. But I think there's something about the way, you know, Marty allowed us to play that people are going to really remember this movie.